Most print-on-demand sellers think that their products are not selling because Etsy is too saturated. But it's usually because of one of four things. Not one of them can operate on their own. They are all very essential parts of your listing that then convert people into paying customers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to create listings that convert just scrolling Etsy buyers into actual customers, even if you are a brand new shop. Hey there, I'm Emily. I am a mom of two and a multi-six-figure Etsy print-on-demand seller. And if you are looking for simple, not overwhelming, actionable Etsy print-on-demand tips, don't forget to hit like or subscribe below. All right, so we are gonna dive into listings that actually sell. Let's dive into the first element of a strong listing on Etsy. And this one might come as a little bit of a surprise because it actually doesn't have much to do with the listing itself. It is figuring out what Etsy buyers want before you do anything at all. So before you open Canva, before you start designing, before you start worrying about fonts, etc., you have to understand your buyer. So many new sellers I work with start by designing things that they personally like. And I can't blame them for that because I honestly did the same thing. But successful Etsy sellers design what their customer likes. So it's not necessarily about us as sellers. If we are trying to create a sustainable business that is profitable, we have to be thinking about the customer because they're the ones who are buying these products, right? We're not making these products for us. We're making them for the customer. So with that comes doing what I would like to call your market research. And I know that can sound a little bit scary, but honestly, we are just figuring out what do Etsy buyers want and what are they looking for? And then how can you create something unique in that process? Now, there's a couple free ways you can do this directly on Etsy. So I'm going to show you here a simple search. I would start with a hobby or a career or something that you know or the people around you know, and just start looking on Etsy. Type something in the search bar, scroll down, look for bestsellers, look for popular now badges. What kind of designs do you see that are trending? What kind of products do you see that are trending? And figuring out this buyer demand is honestly the most important part of this process. And if you are looking for more specifics on how to figure out buyer demand, I'm going to be linking below this video where I walk you through my exact research process to understand what Etsy buyers actually want. Now, the other thing I want to say about this is that the more specific you get, the faster your listings are going to convert. Selling things like a generic mom t-shirt aren't going to take you very far, but selling a softball mom blanket or a baseball mom mug, you are going to stand out much quicker as a new shop. A listing is going to gain traction and convert quicker if you are speaking to a specific customer, solving a specific need, or just providing something a little bit unique to a unique market audience. And I know all of this sounds big and scary, but honestly, here's a great example. Instead of a general dad mug, a fishing dad mug, maybe with a funny quote on it. It's just taking it from here and making it a little bit more specific. But figuring out buyer demand is the first step in a listing that converts, and it cannot be skipped in the process. Okay, let's move on to the second thing that creates a listing that converts, and that is going to be simple designs. And if you are coming into this like I was with zero graphic design background or experience, this is often an area where we tend to overthink, right? So when I first started, I thought I had to create these super ornate graphic designs or these super trendy designs that were going to go on my products, when in actuality, I just needed to create clean, readable, nice designs that spoke to my customer. A lot of times I will see new sellers that I work with adding 12 different fonts, 7 different graphics, random clip art, busy patterns. And that's honestly not what sells. And a lot of times we tend to over design when in actuality, we should be simplifying. You can literally have a bestseller with one font, one graphic, and a clear message. What that's going to do is it is going to come across to the Etsy buyer as clean, as nice, as a high quality product. Whereas something that is super busy, they are likely going to scroll right by. So I'm going to show you two examples. So here is a bad example of an overly cluttered design that is hard to really see what it's about. And here is a good example of a simple design that really just speaks to the audience. So next time you're sitting at your computer to design, make sure you keep that in mind. Simplifying is best. And before we move on to the next thing that can help your listings convert, I want to let you know to not miss this week's Coffee and Cha-Ching's episode. I'm going to be walking through exactly with you how I price my print-on-demand products, as this is also an important part of the listing process. So don't forget to look out for that Coffee and Cha-Ching's coming later this week. Moving on to the third thing that helps listings convert, and this one is a biggie because Etsy buyers shop with their eyes. Think about when you are shopping online. What are you doing? You're using your eyes and looking for things that catch your attention. So the third one is going to be high quality mockups. And mockups are key. They are so important to making sure your listing converts. If your mockup is kind of low quality or a little bit out of date, dark, stretched out, confusing, maybe your design doesn't look right on it, buyers are going to scroll right past. You only have a couple seconds to really catch their attention. But good mockups are going to be bright and light and clean, styled. They are going to make the product and the design really showcased in a way that looks beautiful and speaks to the customer. What's also really important about mockups is that they match the customer that you're trying to reach. Let's say you are selling in the Christian niche and you want to have mockups that feel, again, that light, bright, maybe a little bit more conservative, and you want those to really align with that customer. Whereas if you're selling in the bachelorette party space, those should feel like more like a party. They should be trendy. They should be really fun. And so you want to make sure that you're really aligning those mockups to the customer that you're selling to. Your mockups, the best thing that they do is just put a spotlight on your design and make it look professional. Make it look like something that the customer wants. Now, I'm going to show you two mockups here, and I want you to tell me which one of these you would buy if you were an Etsy buyer. And my guess is that you would likely pick the second one. And that's because this is an example of a high quality styled mockup. The design looks really great on it. It looks professional. And you can see how big of a difference the design on these two mockups makes. It's the same exact design, right? But because of the way that it's styled and presented, Etsy buyers are going to be much more likely to buy that second one. Okay, moving on to the fourth element that makes for a listing that converts on Etsy, and that is going to be your SEO. Now, SEO sounds very scary. I didn't even know what SEO was when I first started selling print on demand. But SEO simply means search engine optimization. And when you really simplify what that means, it's helping Etsy understand who your listings are for. Basically, if you are selling a golf player sweatshirt, then you don't want your golf player sweatshirt showing up in a search for mahjong gifts, right? So you want to make sure your SEO is simply keywords that describe who they are for and what they are for. I recommend using my 3-question method, which is who is the item for? What occasion is it for? And who might be giving it, if that's relevant? And those 3 questions can really help you fill in your SEO on your listing. And when it comes to SEO, there are a few key areas where you want those keywords to show up. That is going to be your title, where you get 140 characters to fill in. You also get 13 tags, and you have your description where you can add some relevant keywords to that. Now, I do have a video breaking down SEO, and it goes in depth into this 3-question method that I use, but I want to give you an example here too. So let's say, sticking to the sports niche, we are thinking about a blanket for a hockey player. Who would that be for? Hockey players, maybe hockey moms, hockey seniors, hockey coaches. That would answer question 1. Question 2 is, what occasion might that be for? Let's think graduation, end of season gifts, thank you gift for coach, senior night game for hockey players. And who might be giving that? Maybe it's a gift from the hockey parents or from the hockey coach, maybe the hockey booster club. So those questions can really help you easily fill in your SEO. Now, I do want to say this step is very much tied to that research that you're doing in step 1 of creating your listing to begin with. You want to be looking for keywords that are working. You want to be looking for in-demand products and looking at those keywords. And these 3 questions can help you organize all of that together. SEO is a very important part of this process, but I think oftentimes we put so much pressure on the SEO that we forget about some of those other areas that I talked about at the beginning. Making sure your item is in demand by Etsy buyers, making sure you have a clean design, and making sure your mockups are ones that will speak to Etsy buyers and help that listing convert. Your SEO is then going to just help get those other things in front of the right people. All 4 of these things are going to work in unison together, and one can't exist without the other. For example, if you have a really messy design or a design that's over designed and you put it on a beautiful mock-up, it's still not going to make up for that design. You could have the best SEO, but have not great mock-ups, and it is not going to matter because the buyers are going to scroll right past. So I know this feels like a little bit of a juggling act, but all 4 of these pieces are vital to creating listings that convert. Okay, so we've talked through all 4 of these things, and I want to go ahead and dive into an example to show you a listing that might be struggling to convert buyers versus a high converting listing. And what I would like to point out is this high converting listing is going to be one that is a younger shop. This isn't an established mega seller shop. This is a younger shop that is doing an incredible job by creating these listings that convert. So I'm going to walk you through those here. Okay, so let's dive into 2 different listings. And if this is your listing, please consider this a free listing audit. And I'm really excited to give some constructive feedback on this listing. So this is the first one we are going to look at. And the first thing we talked about was making sure that there is demand for this product, but then also creating something a bit unique. Now, there is a lot of demand for grief journals, so they definitely got that right, which is fantastic. Except I would say just making sure to have your design stand out a little bit more from some of the other products that are out there. Now, when it comes to the design, this one is simple. So that was a great thing. Awesome job kind of keeping it simple, keeping it clean. But I think in this case, we almost went a little bit too simple, and it is a bit off to the right here. And it kind of just does not look in line with the dove that's on here, and the wording feels a little bit disjointed. And so when someone is scrolling by this, they might just notice that the words are not centered and it's really not catching their attention. Now, the third thing that I find the most important when it comes to this listing is going to be the mockups. And it is apparent here that they have used the standard print provider mockups, and it's not really doing the design any justice. And so in this case, if they had had a styled mockup that looked really high quality, that could go an extremely long way. And I think it would just help kind of showcase the design even in a better light than it is here. Now, when it comes to the SEO, the last thing I wanted to note is I do feel like we are missing some helpful keywords when it comes to the title and the tag. So Some great things are letters to my dad, grief journal, but including things like hardcover matte notebook, most Etsy buyers are not really typing that into the search bar. So that might be some space that we could use for other keywords. I don't know that most are typing in Dove outline, but memorial gifts, sympathy gifts, things like that, loss of dad, loss of mom, things along those lines could be a better use of that keyword space. Now, let's dive into a listing from a new shop that is really showing how all of those four things we've talked about today come together in a great way. Okay, so here's an example from a little bit of a younger shop of a journal listing as well. This one is for a birthday gift, and you can see right off the bat how they are kind of doing the four things we've talked about today in a really great way. The first thing is they have a birthday journal, which there's always demand for birthday gifts, and they've really found a specific way to stand out, which is with this chapter trend that we have talked about a bit before. So this is chapter 50. It's for a specific birthday, 50th birthday. Then when it comes to their design, it is simple, right? They have the book with the flowers. It's a simple graphic. They have just a little bit of writing, but the way that it takes up the entire journal cover and the way that the fonts really work together is beautiful. And so they're doing an incredible job keeping it simple, yet making it a bit unique and speaking to a specific audience. Now, the third thing that they're knocking out of the park are mockups. And you can see this mockup just looks so beautiful. This is a high quality styled mockup that really speaks to customers. And then when it comes to their keywords, you can see that they're really taking advantage of the space in the title. They are using words like guest book and 50th birthday notebook, birthday journal. They're really hitting on a lot of different things when it comes to their keywords. So you can see here, we have two journals, two with simple designs, but you can see how really learning the skills for these four elements we've talked today can help your product then convert Etsy scrollers into Etsy buyers. At the end of the day, listings that sell on Etsy come from balancing four things: knowing your buyer and understanding what they want, creating simple yet unique designs for your products, showcasing those designs in the best way possible on styled mockups, and writing SEO that helps Etsy understand who your product is for. And here's the thing, you won't master all four of these things instantly. This takes time, it takes practice, and it takes repetition. But if you keep improving little by little, you will create listings that convert. And if you are looking for more hands-on support in learning these different areas of the print-on-demand process, come join us in the Gift Lab community, where I am offering daily hands-on support for all of our students, including listing audits, where I can help walk through exactly what I would recommend for your designs, for your mockups, for your SEO that will help your products then convert. And the best part is you can come join us free for 7 days to see if it's a good fit for you. And don't forget to hit like or subscribe below for weekly Etsy tips and training that take away the overwhelm when it comes to print on demand. And I look forward to seeing you next time.